Hi there, I'm Michelle. If you joined me last week, you saw me make this mock-up, and today I'm going to be finishing the rest of the outfit. It's being made from a vintage 1970s pattern that I am sizing up about approximately 10 inches. So I am going to be making the jacket and the skirt out of this fabric, and I'm going to be making the blouse out of this fabric. If you didn't see last week's video and you want to see it before you watch the finale of it, then please go back to my channel and watch it. If not, you can just watch from here.
All right, so I was editing and realized 11 minutes in that I had only covered the jacket and I still had the shirt and the skirt to cover. So, for time's sake, I am going to cut my footage short and just show the important bits. If you would like to see the rest of the videos, I will put them on a private link and share that on my Ko-Fi page, which has a QR code at the end of my video. If you would like to see that, it probably won't be for at least a week before I get that footage up there, but I will put it up there in case anybody would like to see it. So first up, since I took you through the entirety of making the mock-up for my jacket, I am going to start with where I am making the lining for the jacket.
I'm going to take my jacket and put it inside out on Dolly. Okay, make sure everything is sitting appropriately. I may have to tack that down. Now I'm going to take this makeshift liner and place it on top, put the sleeves through the holes. I'm just clipping the sleeve so that it will fit around the jacket sleeve. I'm clipping the lining sleeve. These points should line up because I made it the same size. We are going to overlap, that stays down. We're going to overlap our facing. I'm going to hand stitch around this so that it actually will lay properly, but I'm just going to pin this. And I'm going to try it on inside out so that I don't poke myself with needles. It fits. And I can move my arms. And my sleeves aren't too short. I'm backed into the fireplace. All right, I got the lining all stitched in. So all that's left to do is attach the bottom band on this jacket. But I think it came out great. So let me get that bottom band on here. All right, I have finished the jacket. The only thing left is to put buttons and buttonholes if I want to. I haven't decided at this point if I want to actually put buttons on it or not. If I do, it would look something like that, but I want to find the right buttons if I'm going to put buttons on it. Currently, I think it's fine as it is. So my jacket is good. It's ready to go, and my sleeves aren't too short and they're not too tight, and it fits.
So that was the jacket. Next up, I have the blouse. I am just going to show the alterations that I made to it. Otherwise, I sewed the pattern as it was specified.
So I got up early to make sure I could size up these pattern pieces. And I was re-looking at my measurement chart that I made, or my calculation chart, and realized I put a 4 instead of a 3 on the image I put on the screen. There are 3 vertical cuts, not 4. So that's why my calculations were off. It all worked out okay. It still fit, but I'll make sure to do it right on the shirt. All right, for any of you who might be curious as to how I'm going to make it into a shirt instead of being the top of the dress. I am going to upsize it like I would for it being part of the dress. But then in addition to that, I'm going to take this bottom section below the waistline and kind of flare it out just a little bit so it can go over the hips, because I'm going to add about 4 inches so that it can be tucked into the skirt. So I will show you that, because that is not just the normal upsizing. I'm actually changing the pattern pieces. So then I'm going to cut across the extension line. The tricky part is going to be this dart. I want to measure down 4 inches. How do I lose things in like 2 seconds? All right. So, minimum, I want to line them up here. But also, because this is going to go past my natural waistline and this should be my natural waistline, I want to get a bit more of a flare at the bottom. So I'm going to cut these back apart. I'll retape them. I want the edge flare a bit, so I'm gonna do trying to decide if I want to leave that dart going all the way or if I want to make it, I think I want to make it a diamond. How long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. That way it still gives me the flare down here, and I'm not going to bring this dart in. I'm going to leave it here. This will be like that. And then, well, actually this one shouldn't be flared because this one is the edge or the middle. That one should be taped where it is. All right, so what I did was I added 4 inches. I changed this from just a dart to a diamond dart. And now I'm going to use one of my French curves because I want to kind of flare this, but not in a straight line. So, see. Because my hips are bigger, I want to give room for my hips. Let's see, if this falls 6 inches below my waist, it's gonna be right at my hips. And my hips are, how big are my hips? My hips are 50 inches. My waist is 39 inches. So it's 11 inches difference. So I would need to half that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. That's not right. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this, do a mock-up, and then see how I feel about it. Let's cut this out and see how it fits with a mock-up, but I still gotta do the back. So let me get that done. It appears to fit. The only thing I don't like is that it sits so high on the collar, but that's a me thing, not the shirt thing. So I'll probably lower this neckline just a little bit more, but otherwise, I think I'm ready to make the shirt. Okay, I hope you can see it. Did I put my pin cushion? So I realized this is like going like this when I put my arm out. So I need to bring this back. I don't want it too tight, but I don't want it like gaping either. That looks like that will fix that. Now for this bit, since I'm taking it apart, I might as well take it all apart, right? Now, if I do that, looks like it'll fit better there. Let's try to do the same on the other side. So maybe so you can see what I'm doing. The dart here and the dart here, I'm essentially connecting them so that this will have been a 3-piece back instead of a 2-piece or instead of a 1-piece back. I could have fixed it on the pattern itself had I realized when I did my mock-up, so that's shame on me for not doing a good mock-up. But better to have too much fabric than too little. Then bring this side. All right, let's see what that looks like. Good news. It worked. It doesn't look too baggy now. It fits properly. So I think I'm just going to stitch where I have those pins. Let me get it off without stabbing myself now. Good morning. It's Thursday and my video is coming out tomorrow and I still have to sew the skirt. So I got up early. I hope you appreciate it. Let's go. I want to put pockets in the side of this. I can't stand a skirt that doesn't have pockets. So right about here is a good place for my pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a marker on my mock-up and mark where I want the top of the pocket. And then I will measure that with a measuring tape and then mark on the actual skirt how far down to start the pocket, make my pocket, and then attach it. I hope you got all that. The only change other than adding pockets that I need to do to the skirt is I need to increase the front dart size just a little bit. The back looks perfect. It looks spot on, but the front is a little bit loose, which allows the waist to sag, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to increase the dart size just a little bit, add the pockets, and that's the only changes I need to make to the skirt, and add a waistband, which I cut 2 of the bands for the jacket. So I will use the second one to do the skirt. So this is my current dart marking, and this is what I need to be doing. So at the very top, it's about 1 inch wide from this middle marking. I can mark out 1 inch. Put this underneath so it's more solid to write on. There we go. So then I'm going to just bring it to a little bit past the point. It looks like I did about another inch past the point. So this will be my new dot. This will be my new middle line. And then we're just going to bring these lines to meet the dots. Right. So I will follow the outside lines instead of the inside lines. And we will put our circles here. And there we have our new dart size. Now for the pocket, it's about 5 inches from the top. So we're going to go right here for our pocket line. So we are going to do a 5-inch wide for my hand and then 5/8 and 5/8 for the seam allowance. So that is the opening of the bag. Now, I always, always, always make sure my phone will fit in my pocket. And I don't just want my phone to go in my pocket, I want it to be down in my pocket. So I'm going to use this guy. We're going to do 5/8 of an inch for the edge of the pocket here. This allows it to go into the seam line. And there I have my pocket. Now when I cut this, I will have 4 pieces. I like muslin for pocket bags because it's really thin and it doesn't add a lot of bulk to the pocket area and it's still sturdy. Now I'm also going to cut a facing for my pocket. I'll show you that in a second. I'm just going to flatline these. I'm going to put one on each piece. That way if the pocket curls out at all, it will not show. So I'm just going to stitch under the back side of this. And this is the side that'll be on the inside. I'm going to do that on all of these. Now that we have those down, we are going to flatline this with the pocket. So flatlining is just making it so that it works as one piece. Whew. Now that I've done that, I need to stitch the pockets in. So the way we're going to add these pockets is we're going to do right side to right side on the pocket, and we are going to take our pocket and line it up with that dart or that triangle piece I cut out. So we're going to do a straight line down this at our normal seam allowance of 5/8. So right side to right side and starting at the triangle I cut out. Make sure your bag is pointed down to the bottom of the skirt, and we're going to repeat this on all 4 sides. So the right and left side of the front piece and the side of the back piece is for the right and the left. So now we are going to stitch these pocket pieces to the actual skirt, and we are going to do our normal seam allowance of 5/8 of an inch. Now for the waistband, I have this, which I cut 2 when I did the jacket. So this is one of the 2 that I cut for the bottom of the jacket because the pattern only called for 1. And I'm going to use this for my waistband. Let's see here. I want to overlap one side. I think it's usually when I reach behind me, it's on the lap starts on the left and overlaps the right. So I have about 2 inches overlap here. And I'm going to start my stitches about 5/8 of an inch into the waist of the skirt. That way, when I go to flip it in for the zipper seam, it won't be too short. So this is how the skirt and the shirt came out. I really like how it came out. It's a little brighter than I thought it would actually be, but that's okay. I like bright things. So I added the pockets, which you obviously saw in the video. The shirt, I changed how the back darts were. You saw me do that in the video, but I'll show you the back here. So on the back, I don't know if you can see it very well in the pictures, but I put these side seams in that go up to the darts on the shoulders. and that allows it to be more fitted, because when I first put it on after I scaled it up, it was quite loose, which I missed in my mock-up because I didn't put the zipper in the side, so I didn't actually see fully how it fit. Note to self, always put a zipper in. The skirt fits quite well. I just need to put a button on it. I got a set to do covered buttons. I just have a safety pin holding it right now, but I will be putting a covered button on the back of the skirt, and that or a hook and eye. I haven't decided yet, but I will definitely be doing covered buttons for the jacket. I probably won't have any pictures of this outside for a while because it is as hot as the surface of the sun right now. So I'm not going outside in this suit, but I like where I made it hit. I added 2 inches to the bottom of the skirt, which I like where that falls. It falls right below my knee. I could have left it the 2 inches shorter, which would have been more period appropriate for the 1970s, but I don't like my dresses or skirts hitting right at my knee. I prefer them to be a little bit longer. So that's the only real change I did to the skirt. I lengthened the hem and I added the pockets, and then I of course added a waistband to make it a separate skirt instead of being a dress. The jacket, I didn't really have to do anything to that. All I had to do was size it up and add that extra width in the sleeves, which if you saw the video last week of me doing the mock-up for the jacket, I had to add about 2.5 inches to the sleeve so that it would accommodate for my arms. So yeah, that's it. So those are all the changes I had to make, and I am super happy with this project, and I will do my outro now. I'm finally done. It has taken me almost 2 weeks from start to finish to do this project, but it came out, I believe, amazingly. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Tell me. I would like to know what you think, please. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, if you would like me to upsize other patterns, give me suggestions. What patterns would you like to see scaled up? Because I don't own a lot of vintage patterns. I did have some from my grandmother, but unfortunately in the move, most of them were lost. I only ended up with a couple of them. So I can try to get my hands on vintage patterns that you would like to see, but I need to know what you want to see. So if you like sewing videos though, despite whether or not you want me to try to scale up other patterns, if you like sewing videos, I will be posting every Friday. I try to post by 3 p.m., but sometimes I'm late because of editing. So Friday at some point, usually in the afternoon, there will be a new video. Next week, though, just be warned, I will just be doing a video on how to use the Singer 9420. I have had a few requests on it, and I am going to put an instructional video out on that machine. I just purchased it last week, but I read through the instruction manual start to finish, so I know how to use it completely. And I will be sharing that with you. And if you are not into that, that's fine. Just come back the following week and I will have a new sewing video. So for now, have a great day.